Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So after this career in education, I noticed that you participate in like the Les Hills Prairie Seminar and you're part of the Les Hills Audubon Society. Do you feel like you need to or you want to or you're obligated to educate society about conservation, and where does this come from? And you've already kind of talked about your influence, but what influenced you to want to do this? But do you just want to educate the world about, do you want people to know what we're doing to the earth in return?
What you're doing?
Yeah, like as a species, how we're impacting the earth. Do you feel responsible to let kids my age and anyone else know that we're having a serious impact with like what our lifestyles are doing to the earth? Does that make sense?
Okay, see if I heard the question.
Okay.
Do I have an obligation,
do
I feel an obligation to use this land to educate other people?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely. Oh yeah. To have the land, you know, some of the relatives say, well, you're not using your land. You know, you don't have cattle here, or you're not. You could farm that. That could be farmed. You're not using it. Yes, I'm using it. I have students come out that are doing research. We've had one doctoral and 2 master's students doing research here and around and staying in our guest house. You know, when, like you, or when the students are going to come out next week, that's using the land. That's the proper way to use it. It's very inspiring to me to say, absolutely come out. And when we have our seed and feed day, to have local people come out. And we just had the Audubon Christmas bird count, bird census. So there's one area here called the Westfield count, and Dottie and I are the compilers, so everybody came here. And yes, that's why we have it. Of course, I'm being an educator, that's part of it. Right. But yeah, the more people that use it, and a lot of people I invite out, you don't have to come and ask. Just if you want to take pictures or come bird watching, or if you want to collect seed, I'm not going to chase you off the land for collecting seed. Don't dig the plants up with a shovel.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. If someone wants to come and hunt, you got to ask.
Yeah.
I want to know who's hunting out here. But other than that, it's sure.
But that mentality seems to run counter to that mentality that you have there. That runs counter to mainstream society, where if I have it, like, hoard it, it's mine.
Oh yeah.
So like, this is your land.
Yeah.
But you don't treat it like it's your land.
Oh no.
It's very much, you are the steward of this land, and for everyone else, you know.
Yeah. Then I suppose it may come to a question, but it'll fit in here now. Is what's called a conservation easement.
Yeah.
Right? It was really developed in Illinois quite a while ago. Legally, there are things like utility easements and highway easements, so that you own the land, but you've sold the right to someone to bury a pipeline or electric lines. So they own the right to use it. You can't build a building under it, you know, but you can still farm it. It's still your land. It's still private. You know, it's not public land. Well, I think it was a long time ago, ex-governor, that said, well, why can't we use that kind of legal logic for conservation? So I still own the land, and it's not public land, but the title, the deed to our land, precludes ever plowing anything. It's not legally possible to have row crops on this land. And it's not legally possible to build anything more than this house, that guest house, and the barn. There's some provision. You could tear this down and build a bigger house, but it'll never be subdivided into acreages. You could fence it and put cattle or horses on here, but it limits how many. It's not maximum profit. How many cattle can we squeeze on here? So that's a conservation easement. The Nature Conservancy owns what are called the development rights. But by statute, they can never exercise those rights. They own them. So I trust my children, you know, eventually they'll own the land. but they won't own it forever either. And obviously, I won't have it too much longer, I hope. Or I hope I'll have it much longer, but probably not. So, whoever owns it in the future will have to keep it as open land. You know, it's almost as good as a park, but it is private. But someday, with the Nature Conservancy's Broken Kettle and the Five Ridge Preserve, this probably will become part of that someday, in the long distant future, who knows? But when it goes up for sale, whoever buys it realizes that they're buying open space. So it's great for hunting, nature, bring your friends out, but it's not an investment for building more houses or growing corn on it. And you're asking about how do I feel about hoarding it or owning it? Yes, but I have guaranteed that in the future, whoever buys it will have to have a little bit of a feeling like we have for the land, that it'll have to stay open. So you can have your cake and eat it too. Have the cake and guarantee, why would I bother burning and replanting and managing the forest and all this great conservation if the next owner divided it up, put roads, put a trailer park in here, put a big cemetery, a golf course, who knows? It'll all be, why would I waste my time? Right. So now I know that whatever I do will have a long-term effect.
Do you see the conservation easement strategy, or that legal process is the way, this is the discussion about how to maintain the Loess Hills. This is how, because it's not going to become a national park most likely,
yes,
or it's
yes.
About, because of all the private land ownership,
there are
this
more
is the strategy.
People that would like conservation easements than the Nature Conservancy, the Heritage Foundation, the state of the county has money to acquire, which is too bad. Nature Conservancy, of course, and I understand this, they're interested in high quality contiguous pieces. They're not going to purchase an easement on 20 acres that's in the middle of a cornfield. The state just doesn't have the money. The county isn't interested. It's very discouraging that the county just, if you want to give me land, they'll take it. But they have no program or future thinking of this is a project. And it might take us 20 years, but we're going to budget and we're definitely going to protect some open land. And I've tried, and I think I have the background, the expertise, and I've done it, I know what I'm talking about, and they just say, yeah, but the taxpayers won't go for it. So we're not going to bother. So, that's the county. The Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation, they will deal with smaller parcels. The Farm Bill federally had some money, so NRCS, Natural Resource Conservation Service, still has, but I don't know, it's up and down. We do have money, we don't have money, I don't know, farm and ranch protection easement. So, there should be at a federal level. My way of thinking is the county needs to be part of the project. The state needs to get on the ball. If we need to raise money, we need to raise money. Because once it's gone, it's gone. If you're going to protect land, we need to get on the ball and do it. And that was my whole pitch to the county is we have more native quality prairie than the rest of the state. And so if there's anything really spectacular that's going to happen, it's going to happen in Plymouth County. And they said, yeah, we hear you, but too bad.
What can you do?
Yeah.